Welcome to Work in Progress, another one-off, and we're gonna fight in the streets when talking about Street Fighters, the movie.
Yeah, Street Fighter 1994? Four?
Four.
Oh wow, when I was born.
When we were born, yes.
When we were born.
Yeah.
Nice, yes. But either way,
it was like a Christmas premiere, so it just snuck in.
Yeah, that's true. Like
it was for Christmas because that's the best.
It feels like a summer movie, but no, this was like December. This was right at the end of the year. I am the Wasp.
I'm random Guile stander here.
I beheld Satan as he fell from heaven like lightning.
That's actually the one that I was going to use. Thank
Damn
you.
I thought about using Change the Channel, but like I just realized Guile works. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you can see, we have our special guest, CountRancid, back once again.
Oh boy.
We all felt bad about Holy Musical Batman, and
as you should.
Yes. And we were like, well, actually, some of us like it better than last time, but that's not the point. The point is, we were like, you know what? Rancid has been our most recurring guest of the show.
He's been a punching bag.
Yeah, it's sort of like the period in the 70s where you thought Steve Martin was a cast member on SNL, but no, he just guested a lot.
Yes. And we thought, you know what? Why don't they choose something for us to watch?
And so I did.
You did. And
we were talking about it, like, hey, let's do a one-off where you picked up it for us, and I think you had two movies in mind, and I had
three movies in mind, but one of them was just not worth bothering with.
Okay.
And these, I think, comprised a very interesting, non-connected trilogy in American cinema, which is like mid-90s video game movies that went off the fucking rails.
What was it? Like, first with the Super Mario Brothers movie, then
First was Super Mario Brothers, then Street Fighter, then I think Double Dragon comes third, and that was the one I vetoed because...
Oh, that's right, what Double Dragon?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mortal Kombat, actually.
Me too!
Yeah.
No, the thing is, Mortal Kombat skews a little too closely to the plot. I'm talking about movies that just went off, did their own fucking thing.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And Double Dragon was one that I vetoed because the other two movies are, well, I would say Super Mario Brothers is pretty touch and go in spots, but these other two movies are, perfectly serviceable. You can watch them, you can enjoy them for no matter how ridiculous they may be. Double Dragon it tries to be funny and it just falls on its ass.
It seems, at least with the clips I've seen, it seems a little too winky.
It's a little too winky. It's a little too... I know this is going to sound terrible to some people. You know what is one of my least favorite action movies of the 90s? I'm not a fan of Last Action Hero.
Oh,
I'm surprised I've actually heard of that movie.
Me too.
Well, mostly because I do not enjoy snotty 90s winking humor.
Yeah, agreed.
Imagine Terminator 2, but you're not supposed to think that Edward Furlong is a little shit. That's basically what Last Action Hero is. It's like him entirely, like, he like gets transported into the movie and oh fuck, Charles Dance is a bad guy, which of course, and he's teaming up with Arnold. He's explaining all this action stuff to Arnold in very like simple terms like, oh, all the phone numbers have 555 area codes.
Oh
And
God.
yeah, and like Arnold being an action hero just sort of shrugs it off in a gruff, genial way, but it's rough sledding, man. Like there are people who have nostalgia for that, and I'll admit the Hamlet 2 part is pretty hilarious, but I can't fucking take it.
Oh yeah, to be or not to be, not to be. But like, we'll give credit that Street Fighter did not have any annoying fucking kid.
Yes, they don't, which is very surprising.
I don't think there's anyone under 20 in this entire film.
No,
Some of them are, if anything, way too old.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about with the casting. Okay, as far as the actors go, sure, but just compared to Street Fighter 2.
Does anyone have any? Oh, sorry, Wash.
Oh, I was gonna say this is also like it's. We'll get into it, but it's also this kind of solid action movie. And when I looked it up, it's like, oh, this is Steven D'Souza of Die Hard and Commando. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna get into.
I mean, that's a pedigree.
Yeah.
And conversely, I'm not a JCVD fan, but one of my favorite, very, very favorite action films of the 90s, which came out this same year, was Hard Target. So I know he can be good when he wants to, and also when the plot doesn't require him to talk too much.
Oh.
when he has an accent that thick, and he has an American tattoo on his arm because he's American.
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I was born and raised in Kentucky.
Personal history. I heard Random go to bring this up before.
Yes, history.
Does anybody other than Rancid and I have personal history with this, or?
Yes and no.
Yes and no, but I'm pretty sure it's like a very okay. So
Wash and I pretty much have the same history, I think.
I know the clips. I know a lot of.
Yep.
I know a few of the jokes that come in later in. And I mostly know this film because of one unnamed critic. That's right, John Lasseter. I'm stealing Rancid's joke from like way back.
Let's just call him asshole in a tie.
Yes, asshole in a tie. That works.
That's good.
So yeah, I that's how I found out about this movie too. Asshole in a tie. But.
Asshole in a tie, or as his friends commonly address him, "Where's my money, Doug?"
But yeah, this is stupid.
That was so high pitched I couldn't even hear you in the thing. But that was a great representation of the asshole in a tie. So thank you. But yeah, that's how I was, and like the Mario movie, because that's how I got introduced to that too. It was a review that barely talked about the movie because one, the 10-minute YouTube time limit.
Yep.
And two, it was just like, I don't know if it cared that much.
Was that YouTube? Was that still YouTube, or had he moved on to extremely short-lived and ultimately losing horse Blip.tv?
I think when he made those, it was still early YouTube at the time.
It was still early YouTube, so he's still like it was. In fact, I just looked it up. It was like 8 minutes. Oh, 2008. So yeah, that was definitely. It was still on YouTube, and no, he did such a terrible job. Even back then.
Yeah, and that was my exposure to the movie. That's how I found about probably the only good jokes in the film.
It was that, and like Kirby Fan showed me a clip. Talked about it during I think like at lunchtime at one point, like back in when we were in school, telling me about the Raul Julio's excellent speech of "It was Tuesday."
Iconic, absolutely iconic.
You didn't show that to me, so I watched that for the first time, and
How
I was
have you
like,
never even heard of it though? Like,
I never did. but it was, oh my God.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
I
we'll
guess.
talk about it, but oh
I'm
my
assuming
God.
I'm assuming that Rancid and I have a bit more of a history with this.
Well, I obviously I spent far too much time of my life on a certain man from Chicago, but fuck, man, it's eventually I just got tired of the memes and bullshit. Checked it out for my own. I may have also read an Agony Booth review of this movie. I have no idea if the Agony Booth covered this movie or not, but I feel like it did. I remember it as having done so. It may well have not, but eventually I just decided this is one of these things that I'm going to have to see for myself, like regardless of any preconceived critical opinion that I might have heard. And I say critical very loosely. And I was surprised at first how much I enjoyed this movie. I think I've seen it about 5 times over the years since then, but
Wow.
a little goes a long way.
Huh.
You've definitely seen it more than I have. I think this was like my 3rd time seeing it. Not to echo anything that you guys said because it's exactly the same. I'll call him, and I took his word a bit too highly, just as all of you. But once I kind of realized that, I should form my own opinions for myself.
Yeah.
I thought to watch this movie, but it wasn't at the top of my priority list. And then I started playing Street Fighter. I got friends that were into fighting games, and of course, it'd be casual or serious. If you play fighting games, you're gonna play Street Fighter at one point. That's just how it is. So I really got into Street Fighter. I was really into 4. I was really into 3, the Alpha games, 2, not 1, and going through 2. She said, nobody talks about 1. Bad, horrible game. But I was playing 2, and having a great time. The game is total jank, but it's a lot of fun. And I just remember thinking like, oh yeah, Street Fighter the movie was based off this, right? And that's when I found out about Street Fighter the movie, the game, and we played that. Total mess of a game, but wow. Like, it's a total mess of a game in all the right ways, similar to this movie.
Yeah.
But I remember watching the movie, and I remember thinking, like, the number one impression I had throughout the whole thing was it just a coin toss if they were going to get stuff right or not? Because there are some super specific details that you would not know unless you play Street Fighter. But then there's stuff like E Honda being Brazilian. It's just like his name is Edmund Honda. It's not a Brazilian name. But
well, not Brazilian. He's
Hawaiian, right?
He's
Hawaiian. Yeah, you're right. Hawaiian. I literally looked this up like a minute ago, and I had Hawaiian in my head, and then Brazilian is what came out.
I know nothing about the games.
Me either. I've never played
even the phrase Hawaiian sumo wrestler raises some red flags. If Edmund Honda didn't already raise the red flags that this guy should be Asian.
A Hawaiian played by a Samoan guy, we have to point out.
Yes. There's so much to talk about, and we'll get into it, but it's not actually, it's the exact same thing. What the Mario movie is to watch is like exactly what this movie is to me. The more I watch it, the more fun I have with it, and we'll talk about why.
I think like the second, if I ever watched it the second time, I feel like I'd have some more fun just picking it apart, because good God, like I feel like, because I whenever I watch a movie for the first time, I like to just watch it and then take notes after, but I feel like I really needed to like jot stuff down because there was so much packed into this out of 40. Just so much.
There's a lot. There really is a lot.
You know what's a lot? Like, do we want to do a plot synopsis, or do we just want to go like?
So I mean,
the thing is, like, I don't know how to do it.
The plot synopsis is like it's almost Street Fighter 2, but not really. That's the plot.
Well, I don't know what Street Fighter 2 is.
Yeah, I don't know either. So
I didn't know that there was a plot.
Quick plot synopsis, I guess, because the plot's not the important part. Bison is a dictator who wants to rule the world. He gives an incredible speech about peace that I was crying just as much as Zangief was. But he wants to take over the world, but, American blood and American guile wants to, preserve worldwide peace or whatever. There's stuff going on, and that's pretty much the
there's
a lot of subplots. There's a lot of subplots.
There's the Allied Nations idea of peace, which is diplomatic peace, and there is the Pax Bisonica, which is peace through show of arms.
Yeah, something like that. We mentioned a bit earlier. This plot feels like it feels like dense and shallow. There's like 20 people in the cast. There's 20 different characters. I had to look up.
I will say they get a decent amount of screen time for each person.
There is Guile and Cammy. Like them, they said their names enough times and I remembered. But there was this other guy that was following them around, and I'm like, who the hell is this? While also at the same time thinking, like, all the Street Fighter 2 characters here except for T-Hawk. It never clicked that this guy was T-Hawk because he looks nothing like him. And then at the end of the movie, Guile's like, T-Hawk, go. I'm like, wait, this is T-Hawk?
Yeah, he wears a pseudo Native American headband in the final scene, so you'll get it. But
and there's a lot. Remember, like, I had to look this up because, like, the one named Dal Sim, and I was like, who is like I somebody who knows Street Fighter as pictures only. I was like, who the hell is Dal Sim? And then, like, suddenly at the very end of the movie, he loses his hair inexplicably. And I was
he
like,
loses his hair and gets like bloody streaks down his head that resemble the makeup.
Almost. Again, like, that's just the name of the movie, almost but not quite.
And then there's like, it's like almost not quite, and then there's something like, which one was it? Balrog, which is like too much.
Oh my god. That's not even close.
He has a pretty impressive widow peak.
The best widow peak.
The boxer?
Yeah, boxer.
Yeah, Balrog is a boxer. They got that part right.
Yeah, they got that's right. The boxer. That's right. We're jumping all over the place, but like Balrog, like all of a sudden in the middle of the escape scene, Balrog just had boxing gloves.
My favorite part of all this is that in Street Fighter canon, Balrog only works with Bison because in the games he works with Bison, so they got that part terribly wrong. He works with Bison. He only does it for the money. That's it. Who in this movie works with Bison for nothing but the money? That's right, DJ, who in Street Fighter canon is just this, like, cheerful guy. So it's like they could have literally just swapped DJ and Balrog and they would have been fine. But they
also changed him from Jamaican to sort of like generically African.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I like the accent that he speaks with is pretty similar to, like, I mean, Street Fighter 2 was a little different back then just because it was very condensed sounding Japanese actors. But come like Street Fighter 4 and stuff like that, that's pretty much what he sounds like.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it as well. Yeah.
It's sort of like a generic continent spanning Kwame from Captain Planet sort of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yep.
Like the sort of, we're being inclusive in the 90s, but we're not going to specify what country this guy's from.
They didn't even specify like which continent we're in. Like it's assumedly like East Asia based on.
According to the wiki, it's Southeast Asian nation.
It's especially hilarious because Shadaloo, the disputed country, it's the Shadaloo organization in Street Fighter 2, but as the nation of Shadaloo is pretty much dominated by Victor Sagat, played by none other than Wes Studi, of all people. And one line in this movie is so fucking hilarious. They say he's the leader of the Asian underworld. Like, all of it. Like, over 2 billion people. And this guy has his hands in all the pies.
It's the eye patch.
The guy just got that control, I guess. You know, King of Muay Thai in the games, King of the Asians in the movie.
The entire Yakuza answer to this one guy in shadow.
It's the eye patch.
Bet you didn't see that one.
Oh, okay. God.
Oh, my God.
Can we talk about reverse the footage? Because he uses the wrong eye there. He covers up the wrong eye.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he
did.
Random, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that Bison is my favorite thing about this movie. Like,
oh, God.
Every moment he was on screen, I loved him.
I definitely, like, in regards to, you know, the quality of the movie, you know, obviously I'm a big fan. I think it gets too much hate for no reason, but, you know, there's one thing that I agree with the general populace on. You know, Bison's the best part.
Yeah.
I definitely like he's the one that showed up in terms of acting. Like,
yes.
And he goes all the way. And not in a way that's like ham. I mean, there's some parts that's ham.
Yeah, there's definitely ham. That whole ending scene where he literally shoots lightning out like Palpatine. That is hammier than the pork roll I had this morning. That is
the bit where it segues from a skull with flame shooting out of its mouth to him laughing, somehow looking even more like a skull with flame shooting out of its mouth. It's hammy.
He's so he just drinks it up. Like I feel like this like if you were around in like 93, 94, probably, I mean, I don't know too much about Raul Julia's career, but I mean, if I were around, I'd be like, Gomez?
It's
that is Gomez. Oh my God.
I mean, that's the thing, is that he had done not many movies, but his career had been really varied by this point. It had some great stuff, like Kiss of the Spider Monkey. It had some terrible stuff, like Overdrawn at the Memory Bank, which he did to support public television in New York. If you ever want to see Raul Julia, very, very well-meaning, try his damnedest to appear in a shitty production of Casablanca. That is your movie. But at this point, like, this dude was a living legend already. He took the role purely to make his children happy. He's dying of cancer.
Yeah.
And he decides, you know what? I'm gonna fucking walk away with this. I am stuffing every single piece of this ridiculous set down my mouth, and he did.
And you know what? It was great.
There are the scenes that everybody talks about, like the of course, there's that. It was Tuesday. The legit great stuff. Then you get to the ones that not as many people talk about, like I brought this up before, the speech he gives about world peace. I loved that. I kind of actually forgot how good that was. Bison Dollars used to be pretty popular. It's kind of fallen off, but Bison Dollars is still great.
Yeah, because it really shows how much of a lunatic this guy is.
There is a fantastic moment where DJ thinks Guile is dead, and he congratulates him. Bison just says, "On the contrary, I mourn." And DJ just quietly says, "Okay."
I love an actual. I don't remember this from my other viewings. I actually got a big laugh out of it. When they're infiltrating the base. It's DJ and Bison's like, "Me and you, DJ, we're going to confront them." And DJ's just like, "Hell no."
With the stoicism of the true warrior.
DJ's just like, "No."
No.
And Bison is like too focused to ever notice that he's walked away.
Yeah.
which makes it
I
all the
should have
better.
never left Microsoft.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
There's an interesting through line in this movie where Bison says like, "The nations loathe me, but their corporations adore me," and it's like Bison is getting funded by the tech industry.
There's one point where he was like, "We have to make the shopping mall bigger. All
Yeah, no,
our
the food
corporations will come
the
here."
food court. We need to make the food
bigger.
court bigger. All the big corporations are going to want to support me, something like that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna want some sponsors for the food court.
Yeah, because we gotta make sure we get all the McDonald's in there.
What I love about that is that you can imagine so many other movies like this where one mistake and the evil guy is just like, "I'm going to kill you," but Bison is legitimately just like giving him constructive criticism.
And it's also fantastic. This all takes place in the same scene. Is that immediately after he thinks Guile's dead, he says, "I was hoping to meet him on the field of battle as true equals. Then I would snap his spine."
He's so good, but he's actually disappointed, and
It's not even like
genuinely
he's
sad.
bragging. He's just matter of fact about it.
yeah.
And
He's actually
then I'd win, of
bummed that
course.
He's dead.
I love how like calm and collected he plays it for the whole like almost the whole movie, and then once Guile enters the picture, it's just like the chains are let loose.
He's like a kid.
Game over.
It's like a kid on Christmas getting
I
a
can't believe
Nintendo for the first time.
I could not stop laughing.
Well,
when
not
Bison,
Nintendo.
When Bison is like getting the aqua mines or whatever they're called to get ready to kill Guile, and then he just pulls up like to like an arcade stick.
Oh my god! And the whole arcade sound effects.
It's like,
got a bunch of
he's
little-
like mashing the buttons or rotating.
You got
the
a bunch of
controls.
fat little colored buttons on it.
That was cute. That was cute.
Like it's cute, but it's also just like it's so funny.
it's the perfect control scheme for operating sea mines. Clearly,
Yeah.
like
Like, he pretty much restrains himself throughout the entire film up until the point someone actually lands a hit on him. And that someone is Chun-Li, we should know. Like, Chun-Li draws first blood, like, kicks him into a drink cabinet.
and he
like-
runs away. He doesn't even fight
he
back.
runs away and gasses his own room because they're trapped in it.
And then he starts cackling.
And then he was like, "Okay, now how the hell do I get out of here?"
There's also, like, a hilarious moment where they realize the door was locked, and it just cuts to Raul Julia making this, "Ooh, oh no," face, like he's taunting them.
I think since we mentioned him, we might as well get to the protagonist.
No,
This-
this is
no,
an ensemble
this-
cast.
I was just gonna say this. We talked about this during Black Friday. This is not a movie that has a protagonist. And
Yeah,
you know what?
okay,
I will say it. It's not a case of Black Friday. It's better off.
Honestly,
It's like a protagonist team, a deuterantagonist team, and then dual tritagonists. And then like Captain Sawada, who's just doing whatever.
Just so you and Random know, Wash and Random know. I'm sure Rancid knows because he's seen the movie so many times.
Yeah.
That is not a Street Fighter character. That is a movie original.
wait, which one?
Sawada.
Oh, that's right. The one who's like, it's like he's reading he's like he's reading his lines phonetically. Like the
Yeah, he like spoke. He appeared as part of a promotional deal with Capcom. Like, he's a really good fighter.
Mhm.
He did a lot of motion capture for Street Fighter that they later rotoscoped over. And it turns out that he was Capcom's favored choice to play Ken. But then we realized, oh fuck, this guy speaks no English at all. So what you hear in the movie is actually him being dubbed, which means that in the original version, he somehow sounded even worse. Like Kylie Minogue between Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kenya Sawada is like looking at herself thinking, wow, I'm almost an actress.
I thought Jean-Claude Van Damme was also dubbed because, oh my god.
Oh no, there were times where...
No, he just sounds like that.
Yeah, that's just him.
He's just from Belgium.
I was gonna say, there were times where the lips felt like a bad ventriloquist dummy. And I just was like, no, you did not say that the way those lips came out. It looked weird. I don't know if they edited it weird or if that's just Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He says Shadaloo like 6 different ways.
I could swear there was one point where I actually like heard an ADR edit where it's like when I like edit this podcast and I cut in like there's some empty space, but I cut it in a little too tight, so it sounds like an edit.
What a woman.
You've heard of hard target meet hard cut.
Hard cut, yes.
I will say Jean-Claude Van Damme had some great action lines in this movie. Like very good cheesy one-liners.
What was the one he
It's
said?
A shame he couldn't deliver them properly,
no,
but
you know what? He tried.
There was one
God
that he said at the end where it was clearly like dubbed in after the fact, when he's like running away from the explosion. But I can't remember what.
Yes.
What did he say?
You're off the air, Bison.
You're off the air, Bison. But it's like he's running away.
It's very obvious. That line is very obvious. That is either. I mean, like, I wouldn't put it past this movie to just have that be like how it was shot. He just said it like way too late. I wouldn't be surprised.
He has a weird obsession with Bison's ass. He is the repo man coming to collect Bison's ass. He's gonna kick Bison's ass so hard the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. He's coming for his ass. Like, lay off the fucking ass.
Hey. It's 2021. We can respect that. It's okay. The 90s were a different time, but now...
I'm starting to think our leader is just some sort of twisted ass freak.
Oh, God.
Oh,
see,
Lord.
like, I love this movie, but I don't know what to talk about. Like, we go through characters, I guess, but it's such mindless fun.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, the Mario movie was kind of the same way. We just keep talking about characters and quotes, so I guess we can keep doing that. It's just... I don't know. There's nothing to talk about that's like substantial. It's all like
this film is goofy, and it knows that it's goofy, and like, because literally Jean-Claude Van Damme dies, quote unquote, like 4 times.
He died like somebody.
When you're a sumo wrestler, your mind is somewhere else. Hey, next time that happens, tell him to go get a pizza.
Quick, change the channel.
Like a lot of Honda is just explained away by him saying, "Sumo brother." That's not how it works.
No, that is how it works in Street Fighter. That is Honda's character in Street Fighter. Even Street Fighter 2. Even Street Fighter 2.
If we're gonna talk about the Guile's death, it's like the fact that like there was a nurse that came in, checked Guile's pulse, is like, "I'm sorry, he's dead." They cover a sheet over his body, and then I guess Chun-Li.
He waits.
He was just waiting.
Yeah, they're on a very tight schedule, and he waits.
He waits in the morgue for Chun-Li to come in.
only to tell her, if I wouldn't give you an interview before, why would I give you one now?
And he like opens up the vest, and of course he has a bulletproof vest with like fake blood patches.
and Chun-Li like, goes, "Of course."
No, it's like
no, not of course.
Not of course. No, that doesn't answer.
No, that doesn't explain anything.
No, it's like, and it's also it's like, like he immediately goes back to being a leader, even though like his death was in the international news.
All right, I'll be honest with you. This is my fetish.
Oh my god,
It happens enough times. It
does. It really
Kyle,
does.
Kyle, are you okay? I'm only half dead. What about Bison?
All
Only
dead.
All dead.
All dead. No, he says all dead, and then he immediately gets revived.
He does.
Yeah.
He gets like a full restore and lightning powers.
Like his,
What happened to unarmed combat? Telekinesis, Kyle.
There's a little peck massager CPR device.
Yeah.
It's
He just has it
adorable.
set up.
My favorite thing, speaking of adorable, the announcer and like, warning, stay away from the hostages. Clear the way. I don't know why, just the announcer just sounded adorable to me in the computer. I don't know why.
Isn't she the one that also said something like, you're responsible for keeping up with
you're
your health
responsible
for your health benefits?
Yes. That was hilarious.
Like, that's how we know this. That is how we know the continent it's set in is North America.
Speaking of weird voiceover, whose idea was it to do a Good Morning Vietnam homage?
Not only that, but I looked it up. It's literally the DJ that Good Morning Vietnam is based on. They brought it in.
Why?
And he showed up in the credits too, and it's like, what are you doing?
Why not?
I mean, I won't deny he has a fantastic delivery, but
He does.
I mean, he had the voice for radio. Funny enough.
I think we should actually talk about the cast, though. Is that Jean-Claude Van Damme, maybe the actor with the greatest star power and second least ability to deliver his lines, ate up $8 million of this movie's budget. So that's like over a quarter. That's almost a quarter of the film's budget.
That would explain why it's like the most of the cast is like when I'm looking at
Stunt people.
Some people like I saw like there's like a couple of them that are like extras in the Scooby Doo movie. But it's like it's just like people. They don't I mean probably the one that's like one of the most successful is the actress who played Chun-Li, who as I looked it up, it's like that's the voice of Mulan. Look at that.
Shit!
Yep,
No way!
Yeah.
I mean, and I think she's done a bunch of other stuff in Mandarin cinema.
Yep, she was in Mandarin, and she played a big role in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I've seen neither of those shows, so I'm not going to say anything more.
I'm the Marvel guy, and I haven't even seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Get in line behind most of America.
So the fact that he ate up so much of the budget isn't surprising, but also this is gonna take you back to watch with the Mario movie, but just the set pieces, the visuals of the movie, they're really, I don't want to, they're high effort in the same way that the Mario movie was high effort, right?
Yeah.
And that it's like, you know, you can poke fun at it because it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. It's not faithful to the games or whatever, but like, just look at some of this stuff. Like, it looks really cool. The whole introductory scene with for Ryu and Ken, who are also pretty. Well, Ken is pretty off. Ryu is like good enough, I guess. But like when they go into the beat Sagat and they have that whole cage fight thing, all of that, like it looks good.
Yeah.
And then Guile crashes in when they're about to start fighting. He goes, "You're all under arrest."
This movie is almost perversely opposed to watching actual people fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like
until the end, when like everybody starts to fight.
It's like you're an hour. I'm an hour into this, and it's like this is still Street Fighter, right? Is anything gonna happen? Hello?
Yes, it was all at the end. We got all the fighting we wanted at the end. What was I gonna say? I think my favorite set piece though is N. Bison's lair would be the best word for it. Fortress,
like the main room where he is, or just kind of like the whole thing.
I would say the whole thing, because because it cuts to different parts of it. Like there's the whole There's the main room, there's the laboratory, there's the training room, there's Bison's room, there's the dungeon. There's so much to unpack. And so many rooms in that whole half the movie is in that location. And it's just like, damn.
There is not only a fake Napoleon portrait in Bison's sex chamber. There is also a John Wayne Gacy portrait of himself.
I saw the clown and I was like, what?
Yeah,
that is based on actual art John Wayne Gacy did of his clown persona.
I know.
Oh no.
I know. Why did they why? But at the same time I can see Ian Bison doing that.
Yeah,
I
that's
could
what
be
was
like
gonna say,
I could
why
see
not?
Ian Bison going, inspiration. And just like, I want that, but with me.
I'm courting the muse, DJ.
The day that you saw that painting on Bison's wall was the most important day of your life, but for him, it was Tuesday.
Just Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
God, that speech was so good.
It's
like
so-
legitimately
Even the
good.
way he pronounces it, like Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
It's so-
And Chun-Li's like,
And then she's like, here's my final form. And then she just rips off the chains and fights him. And it's like, I will say that when there is fighting, the fighting is good. The fighting is good.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm going off Wikipedia now because I did not take notes. The cast were all trained by Benny Urquidez, who is like a really like top flight karate dude.
And had a cameo in the film.
He does?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he's one of the Sagat's gang.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway.
But apparently the thing is that like Rawls' cancer sort of sped up the schedule. Like they had to shoot on periods where he not only looked good but looked semi healthy, because he's always pretty gaunt throughout the film. But like acting makes him seem so fucking imposing, and that costume, by the way.
They had the general costume designer, and then they had somebody just for Bison.
That is, I believe that's the same woman that did the specialized flight suit for the Rocketeer.
Oh.
Like
I can see that.
She was the person who helped translate that design to the screen, and I mean, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially the great detail of like in that scene with the It Was Tuesday, like Chun-Li is given this like sad tale about her father being the village magistrate, and meanwhile Bison is switching from his presentation hat to his nighty night hat.
And he
Not just the hat, and a suit too.
And he puts a little smooth music on the soundtrack.
Yes. Oh my
Bison
god.
sees this recitation of childhood trauma as, maybe I'm gonna get lucky here. Is this not foreplay for other people?
Honestly, if that was turning him on, I had a feeling that he really enjoyed the fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I was gonna say he's still coping over Guile. He still thinks he's dead at this point.
Yeah.
I understand.
So in a way, sloppy seconds.
You never want to catch a villain on the rebound.
But man, like when you get like when they were ready to bring out I'm looking at the cast list, Blanca, when they were about to bring out Blanca, who looked like crap.
Blanca, who looks like present day Carrot Top.
Oh my god.
He's like if Carrot Top and the Jolly Green Giant like just had a
But Blanca is always a fun one to talk about, because in Street Fighter there is both a Blanca and a Charlie.
I found this out. Yeah, they just combined the two backstories.
They just combined the two. Charlie did show up in Street Fighter Alpha, but that came after too, so it's like cut the movie some slack in that specific regard, but also Blanca and Charlie were still two separate characters in Street Fighter 2. So I mean,
So, well, it's like they saw the part of like Guile lost a dear friend and a dear army buddy. Well, we could use that as the backstory for the ugly guy. Perfect.
Let's give him the Clockwork Orange treatment and just make him green.
Clockwork
Yeah,
Orange?
there is unsimulated hanging footage in this family movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. They have to in order to stimulate his mind with evil, they have to show him horrific.
There is stock footage of actual massacres in this.
Yes, actual massacres, or as M. Bison called it, educational software.
My favorite is after Dalsum changes it to, like, you know, good stuff.
He just sees the children playing and he puts his fist.
No! It's literally like it's a kid. It's a shot of like a kid running through a field, and he's so mad.
He's so upset.
He's so pissed.
What I was gonna
I
say,
hold you responsible, child.
I love when Guile is talking to Bison on the news, and he's like, "Charlie, hang in there, Charlie, like, don't move there." Then Bison walks up to him and goes, "Carlos Blanca, Charlie." Like, it's not funny on its own, but again, when you remember Street Fighter, it's just like, that's what they went with. That's the best thing they could come up with.
when I heard that like Blanca was one of the only names that I recognized, so when I saw that he was Blanca, I was like, "Oh, what is going on?" But what I was like, imagine like for M. Bison, like he raises up the whatever the incubator and is ready to unleash Blanca to kill the hostages, and instead like Guile, he doesn't jump, he floats forward with a double kick. And he's just...
and I love how just Guile does like looking at the camera.
Yeah.
And also it has this ring of decorative spikes around it for no clear reason.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like they caged it to try to prevent Blanca from like roaming wild. I think that's what the idea was.
I just thought it was there because, it looks cool.
Well, it could be.
It could be for both reasons.
It could be both.
That's true. Good point.
Yes, Janet Poisonovich, or Poison.
Poison did exist at this point. Final fight.
Yes,
she did exist.
If we're gonna talk about cast members, I want to talk about like my second favorite.
Is it my second favorite?
Hold on.
I think it's going to be all of our second favorites.
Okay, hold on. My second favorite is Zangief.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah. I mean,
Zangief. Okay, I'm gonna.
So
I want. No.
He's
I'm gonna
in
gush.
like 3 scenes. He's in 3 scenes, but they're such great scenes.
I want to gush. Okay.
Go right ahead. The floor is yours.
Go ahead.
He's a sweetheart. He's so cute.
It's kind of interesting when you think about it, is that the mohawked bad guy who turns out to be not such a bad guy after all, and the mutagenic test subject subplots were kind of combined for Bobo in Double Dragon.
Oh,
I'm just gonna say this about Zangief. He may be a bad guy, but that doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
I was gonna make that joke.
I just thought it was an interesting comparison.
Okay.
Also, he does not eat spinach in this movie, which thank God.
The only line Zangief says like, "General Bison is bad guy. He may be bad guy."
Hans, are we the baddies?
Why did you work for him? Because he gave me money.
Oh. They give you money? I was doing this for the love of the game.
You get paid?
It literally is a Hans, are we the baddies moment.
Are we the bad guy?
And I have to bring this point up again. In Street Fighter, Balrog literally has dialogue. Time to get paid. They should have...
Anyway.
I guess it was I guess it was more entertaining to see like a boxer dude go at henchmen than a kick fighter. I don't know. I don't know what DJ does.
He kicks.
Yeah.
Oh, good guess.
He also steals
He also used to work at Microsoft.
Yeah, he did, and he also steals bison bucks.
He stole the huge box that was like, surely this has valuable currency in it. God damn it, it's Monopoly money.
Honestly,
when Sagat sees it, he just starts laughing and he starts throwing the money.
I think it's interesting because this is the exact same box that Bison also brought out during the negotiations at the arms fair. Yeah. So the instant Sagat should have seen that chest, he should have basically he should have.
Oh yeah, that's
he's got a poor memory.
Well, when you only have one eye, you can't see all that well. Apparently.
You can't see.
And also, it was a chaos of battle. Weird.
That arms fair is maybe the only moment where the film leans into over playful racism.
Oh god!
There are a few lines of dialogue from the arms fair, delivered by quote unquote Arab guys that I was a little unsteady with.
Yeah. You as I was watching, I didn't even have to see him. Just the second he started talking, I'm like, I don't think that's right.
No.
But in that same scene, Zangief has one of the, if not the best line in the whole movie.
No, it's my favorite. It's the biggest laugh of the whole thing is the setup of Chun-Li and gang. They set up this whole thing where a car, the truck starts driving towards them with explosives or something, and just starts crashing up the wherever. And they're watching it on the monitor, and they see outside, oh my god, it's the truck. Tengen's freaking it up. Quick, change the channel. And everyone just stared at him.
No, we got to talk about this because this is one of the weirdest one of the weirdest things that the movie unironically does really well. So Bison delivers that speech about peace, and Zangief starts crying, and he says that was beautiful. DJ looks at him like he's an idiot. Then, that scene happens when Zangief says, quick, change the channel. DJ looks at him like he's an idiot. Then at the end of the movie, when DJ is escaping and Zangief says you have to help stay and defend Bison, that DJ actually tells Zangief pretty much that he's an idiot. So there's actual build-up and character relation established throughout the movie.
I mean, if nothing else, for however inconsequential DJ ends up being to the plot, Miguel Nunez Jr. is fantastic at slow burn eye takes.
Absolutely,
oh my God.
I agree.
So good.
I've seen so many movies where that's just gone way too far, and it just be it's like a cue for the audience to laugh, but you really feel it. You really feel it's like, I'm the smartest guy in the room. Fuck.
Because honestly,
when Bison asks, "Is the $20 billion transferred to my bank account?" and it's this point and click game.
Yeah, he's
a text-based game.
Hell no, General.
Hell no, General.
Didn't the bank account say it had one bison and bison?
It had $0.
No, it just said it said $0 and there was a little buzzer.
Oh,
it was adorable. This arms fair scene is also where we learn a truly fantastic. Apparently Bison is really playing the long game here because Bison dollars will only be brought into effect as the equivalent of 5 British pounds once he kidnaps the queen.
Once he kidnaps their queen, yup. Bison dollars, Tuesday, for me it was Tuesday is great, but I actually think my favorite Bison quote would be Bison dollars. I used to joke about with friends Bison dollars all the time. We had this bot set up. This was early, mid 2000, not early, but mid-2000s, so setting up bots was not easy. We had like this bot set up where we would watch Street Fighter tournaments, and we had Bison dollars, and we could bet Bison dollars on who would win and who would lose. Like, we loved Bison. I still love Bison dollars.
I mean, if I could get a like in at least good condition, a prop Bison dollar with Raul Julia's face printed on it, I'd be a happy man.
Oh, me too.
It's
I'd
printed
be happy.
cheaply. It's printed so cheaply too. Like it looks. It reminds me of like when I went to karate and like my instructor printed out these like colored printer paper dollars that you could trade in for the to his store, so you can get like an instructional tape, and it just had a picture of him in his karate uniform in the center.
Oh my
well,
God.
Bison's just being efficient. He doesn't want to waste too much money.
Yeah. So that's why he's creating his own.
Yeah, and he says this so matter-of-factly, like, yes, of course, I will conquer Shadowloo, and then Asia, and then Europe, and then, of course, comes Great Britain, and then you get paid. Like, it's...
How would you like to land?
There's clearly a methodology in Bison's Madness that is not discussed, but I think makes it even funnier for this ever so brief, tantalizing glimpse we get into how his mind works.
I love when he talks to Sagat about the Bison dollar. Sagat freaks out. He says, "You're an absolute lunatic." Bison is all upset. He's like, "You're gonna die," and they get ready to fight. And then Ryu and Ken just walk into the scene.
They're like, I suppose it couldn't get any worse. It got worse.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh. And
I'm only going to say...
For the rest of the movie, Sagat and Bison were just buddies.
Yeah. They just had a bit of an argument. They fought it out.
It
and now
happens.
they're good.
It happens.
It does happen.
I thought he was one of the prisoners as well.
No, he literally says that they're welcome to stay.
Oh,
yeah, and when
well, I think that's the evil overlord. You're welcome to stay instead of the gracious host. You're welcome to stay.
Yeah. Ken and Ryu got the gracious host.
I was gonna say when everybody like they have.
You're welcome to stay. Don't leave.
They initially have Chun-Li, Honda, and Balrog lined up, and then when they find out that Ryu and Ken weren't actually with them, they had them lined up too. But Sagat and Vega were just there, like they were fine. And then when Bison, like the big fight started happening, Sagat and Vega, they sided with Bison.
Didn't they promised Sagat he promised Sagat like a promotion, like part of the he's got a portion of the land or something like that, and just be like, that's great, but can I just have some money?
Money, yeah. I just want the money.
Yeah.
By the way, I looked at West Studi. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Studi.
West Studi. He Dances with Wolves, Laughs with the Mohicans. I also found out he was one of the Jerrys in Soul.
Wait, what? Who?
What?
Who? Sagat is one of the Jerrys in Soul.
Oh, he's the tutorial video one.
It might have been. He
is the tutorial video one. Because there's an older sounding one, and that's gotta be him.
If there's one thing you might recognize him from, he also plays the Sphinx in Mystery Men.
Oh, I was gonna mention that, but I also haven't seen Mystery Men, so I didn't want to. I missed out on that one, sadly.
He mostly plays sort of elder Native Americans in deconstructionist westerns, but it's a really fantastic filmography.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he would be like if it weren't for Raul Julia, he'd be the other big star. Like,
I'm going to say the Ken Ryu dynamic is greatly misweighed. Like, Ryo is maybe the only charming one of the two. Ken is just a waste.
Yeah. Ken is literally just like
he's just mad.
He's just a stock con artist.
Like most, they fluctuate between calling him Ryu and Ryu throughout the movie. Sometimes he's Ryu, sometimes he's Ryu. Ryu has never been Ryu. It's always Ryu is correct. But it's just another. Like, we were talking about somebody before where it's a coin toss on what their name is. It's Ryu too.
Did anybody say Sagat in the film? Was it
No,
always
they-
Sagat?
Oh, I don't think so.
If Jean-Claude had a scene with West Studi, he definitely would have said Sagat at some point.
I'm pretty
Even
sure.
though Sagat is the one that sounds more French, he would have somehow said Sagat because I don't fucking know how Belgian works. Apparently, you just pronounce it how you want to.
Can we talk about the fight scene between Zangief and was it Honda?
Honda, yeah. Honda.
Zangief and Honda,
when
they wrestle. They wrestle
pull the-
over
when-
the.
They pull the camera up over them and it plays the freaking Godzilla sounds.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
like,
and they're like wrestling over the scale model of Bisonopolis
Yeah.
and like toppling it over.
This was my Godzilla versus King Kong.
no, it's like the setup of that is that like they're saying like, hey, we found the model of the Bisonopolis. And it's like, oh great, this is gonna be really important. This is gonna be really important data, and the sumo and the big buff henchman just duke it out and crush everything, even the food court.
My favorite thing at the end of that is like they're fighting literally the entire time, just wrestling each other, and then once the building self-destruct, like Honda just goes, "Playtime's over."
Coward, DJ, we can't let them get away.
Wash, do you want to talk about this hilarious thing we found out about Zangief's actor?
Oh
Since
no!
we have time.
Oh,
We still have time, yeah.
Oh, that's right. The thing I shared with you.
Yes.
Well, the thing is that I would do because I was going through the cast list because I'm trying to figure out like who the hell these people are, and I go to I was excited.
Stuntmen mostly.
Yeah, a lot of nobody. The actor who played Zangief, Andrew Briniarski, he also played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. And I was looking through the Wikipedia and I saw there's a section for controversy because
It's always a good thing to have with any actor, especially a small-time actor. Is a controversy section.
But Rancid, I share this to Rancid because I knew that he'd actually like know the actor, but like
right. It was Gunnar Hansen.
Hansen.
And someone said, and he said like, "How dare you insult Gunnar Hansen?" I was like, well, surely it was just a little bit of bad blood between them. Like Andrew Brianarski said that Hansen had bad-mouthed the Texas Chainsaw 3D at cons and stuff. And so there was a bit of chafing because he was the new Leatherface. So I thought, maybe there was just a little bit of tension between the two of them. And then the response from Andrew Brianarski is that dead guy can suck my balls, or words to that effect.
my god, Zangief.
When the news came out about the original actor's death, his Facebook post was boo hoo. People were telling him like that's really disrespectful, and he was saying suck his dead balls.
Jeez.
Like I said, like he especially said like I think he said something like, "Don't get me wrong, fuck cancer."
Yeah, that's right. Cancer the line was, "Cancer is worse than haters."
It's always a good thing where you have to clarify that you are not pro cancer.
Yeah.
Zangief, no, you were the best.
I said it was like Derek Mears telling Kane Hodder that he's an asshole.
The translation of like the Michael Myers, right? Yeah.
The new Jason and the old Jason.
A new Jason, old Jason. Yeah, right. So yeah, I just stumbled upon that. I was like, I know one horror buff who would get a kick out of this. Go.
Oh, and I did. I did.
All right. We don't have much. Thing is, we were jumping all over the place. Oh my god. Can I talk about the stealth boat?
Go right ahead.
Oh my god.
Let's talk about the stealth boat.
Go right ahead.
So they set up. We're gonna infiltrate using a stealth boat. Now, first off, stealth boat. One of the
you can even see in the footage, like, it's stealth, quote unquote, but like the waves give away their exact position.
It's an oxymoron. There's nothing stealthy about a boat, especially a boat that is going like 45 miles an hour through a very narrow river.
And apparently Bison like argues that Bison orders DJ to just start like scrambling its frequency. It's like,
he said
the wake, dude. You can just see the fucking wake. It's right there.
Exactly. Just look. Just use your eyes.
Not only that, but it was
you can see.
Like Bison literally said he said something like start the sonar. The boat is useless against sonar. It's like 1930s technology.
They caught us.
Well, hey, it's the finest technology that the Bison dollars can afford.
And
we can't detect them, boys. The boat flew too low under the radar.
But like the only reason that Bison even know that the boat was there was that their strategy of stealth is by blowing up all the radars and immediately calling attention to themselves. Hey, there's an alarm going off. We didn't think about that.
And then once they realize they've been spotted, their strategy is to call Bison.
No. Yeah. Bison calls them, and it's a video call, which means they set a camera inside the boat.
Hey, Jean-Claude Van Damme wanted to do this moment.
They have this mini VHS player where Guile could look at this weird clip he has saved of him and Charlie.
Yeah, that's right. He watches like home video in the middle of this mission. I guess this was.
It's time for some precious memories.
That was maybe the last time I watched this tape.
Look, the stealth boat can do a lot of things. It just can't stealth.
And it's also like, it looks like if the Batmobile was a boatmobile.
He pushes in the VHS tape.
Invisible boatmobile!
Even Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy got that right. And that was...
What if he pushes in the VHS tape and it turns out like he accidentally taped over it with Cheers or something?
What if they went to hit the stealth button, but they hit the origami button by mistake?
Oh no, I hit eject! Charlie, I failed you again!
But
can we?
Why is there a VCR player?
But it was a good thing that Jean-Claude Van Damme had invisible boat insurance.
Can we talk about, if we're talking about scenes specifically, because I feel like this is how it's going to go from now on, just scenes. Can we talk about the "we can all go home" scene?
But y'all get to go home.
Oh yeah, with
there should have been
Simon
one
Cowell.
guy that was really excited for that.
No, I love the one when Guile says we get to go home, and then you can hear the one guy mouth, "No."
There's
who is the bald British asshole who just comes in and I'm going to put a stop to your plan and pay the bad guy money.
He's Simon
Was this guy dubbed by Jonathan Hyde? Because it certainly sounds like it, but it's a different guy entirely.
Well, I know like the actor is Simon Cowell, who is the villain from Ace Ventura. I almost said Ace Attorney.
I was gonna be like, what is an Ace Attorney movie?
I mean, Simon Cowell is Simon Cowell would be like the Ace Attorney version of Simon Cowell.
I was about to say, like I first saw the movie and I did a double take. I was like, Simon Cowell's in this movie?
Yeah.
You know who else is a lot
Cowell.
like Simon Cowell?
The timer.
The timer.
I was just gonna say that scene was hilarious, and
Yes.
I give Street Fighter the golden buzzer.
and he literally just like lies to the queen. I think
He lies to somebody on the phone and is like, "Don't worry, all the army people are still at the base," and it just cuts to just one lonely guy who made like 4 pots of soup, and only the cat could ever eat it.
Can we? Okay, like we'll get to final thoughts, but one last thing. The lady that was with that guy who for no reason was just carrying her shoe around.
Yeah.
Why?
All right, random final thoughts.
This movie, like the Mario movie, was a hell of a ride. I guarantee more of a hell of a ride. I kind of want to. This was my first time watching it though, and I would just
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was my first time watching fully. I thought it was entertaining. I don't know if it had anything to do with the games because I don't know Street Fighter at all. And I just thought and Bison was entertaining. Jean-Claude Van Damme was not understandable, but also at points he didn't need to be. It was funnier than I thought it would be, both intentionally and unintentionally. And I did enjoy it. I watched it a bit late at night, like I messaged you guys at like close to 4 a.m. when I watched it. So, but I still had fun with it. It was an interesting watch, and is it good necessarily? No. Is it bad? Yes and no. But is it entertaining? Yes. Yes, it is.
This was a pretty fun one. I think it could have used some better pacing because I was like checking on the time a little too much. Because it was just kind of but I'm sure like the second time I'll once I know like how this is actually like structured out, I can enjoy it more. I didn't really get to talk about the direction. I thought it was really solid in terms of the direction. When we were talking about the Bison's speech about just one in peace, and it pans up to the skull building that he's got planned, and it's like, okay, this has got something, and it's got some it got a couple like really cool like mass cuts, and there's a shot with the skull building that cross dissolves into Raul's face as he's cackling. It's like, okay, this
yeah, that's the fireplace.
The fireplace. That's what it was. Yeah. And it's like, okay, there's it's like a tiny bit of smartness to it, which I can expect from the Die Hard guy. It's very packed. It's quite packed, and I feel like that my second time around I'll enjoy it more. As it is, it's got like 3 or 4 great characters, and the rest. Luckily, M. Bison like carries this easily. But also Zangief he's good guy. He's good guy, and he sounded so much like Heavy. I couldn't stop hearing Heavy weapons guy.
It's always a delight when I get to do something that doesn't numb me to the point of physical exhaustion.
That's the bar.
That's the bar so far.
True.
But I really do love this movie. It's the jokey bits. Any of the jokes not delivered by Ken are usually funny.
Oh.
And Ken or Guile are really the black holes of charisma that kill a lot of the better written lines. But for a cast mostly of unknowns, they do some fantastic work, no doubt. And even though they are admittedly underdeveloped, they're underdeveloped in equal measure and at such a rapid pace that you really don't notice. Like it breezes by. It's you can't. I can barely believe it's over 100 minutes because it feels pretty. It feels pretty close to like 80, just kind of how it moves, and it looks great. It's from that era where computer effects had not completely overtaken like very elaborate set building, and it is a fantastic spectacle. A spectacle, admittedly, but fantastic. And of course, we all have to give it up to our man Raoul. Like, just nothing but respect.
Agreed.
This, I know I said this before, I'll say it again. What the Mario movie is to watch is exactly what this is to me. I can't get enough of this. It's so funny for all the wrong reasons. Also, like the Mario movie, it's so far off, but you can see those glimpses of, oh, they actually have played the games. Legitimately funny stuff, especially from Raul Julia. I know it's what everybody talks about, but it's what everybody talks about for a reason. Other, Geef is great, of course. You got some other fun characters along the way. So quotable. Most of it is just because it's stupid. Like, you're never gonna hear me say, I gotta be in 2 places at once, bring me a pizza. But I will bring that up when we talk about the Street Fighter movie, because it's so delightfully bad of a quote.
It's sort of a call and response thing. Like, you have to have a friend that's in on it for it to work.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, if you have a friend who's in on it, they've got good taste because they like the Street Fighter movie. Just the only other thing that I could really think to say, I finished it a few days ago, and I do have like everything that we've watched for the podcast ranked like standalone, not just Pixar perspective, yada yada. It's not like fully concrete, but it's at least like a good idea of where everything is. And I'm looking at the list, and I'm like, I genuinely had a better time with Street Fighter than a lot of these. Like Incredibles 2, yeah, I liked it more than Incredibles 2. Twisted, I'd probably say I had more fun with this one than even like Twisted. Like I have such a fun time watching this, and this is definitely not going to be the last time that I watch it. It's too stupid for me to not watch it again. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
For considering like in the era that video game movie was still like brand new at the time, this actually worked out pretty well. This weirdly holds up. My opinion can change the second time around. So I don't feel I feel like I have more fun with the bat-shittedness of Mario movie, but this is also just something that I can see like just watching with my dad, who's never played a fighting game in his life.
This is definitely a movie you can watch with Dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dad is going to be even more into these jokes than you are.
It's definitely something, and it's definitely something that's like perfect for like when we can watch it together, and he can like take a nap for the first hour, and he'll wake up and he's not really missed much.
No, he wakes up when Raul Julia shouting "No" at the kid playing happily. He's like, "Whoa, what happened? What I miss? Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
No, you're still good. Go back to bed."
Well, no, don't go back to bed. The movie's getting really good.
Yeah.
You have to. The nap factor is an all important component of Dad movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially my dad. Yeah.
You have to keep in mind it's mid-afternoon. He's in his favorite chair. He's not quite as spry as he used to be. He's
Nope.
he's just gonna rest his eyes for a little bit, but he's still paying attention. You don't have to pause it. You can keep it going.
How would you rank Street Fighter with all the movies you've seen, Rancid?
Oh yes, that's right.
It's gotta be number one, right? It's gotta be number one.
What's
right?
what's the throwdown so far?
So,
I know it's the Cars trilogy, Incredibles 2, Sonic 99, everyone's
Onward.
favorite. Onward, I forgot about Onward. Me and My Dick, and then Batman.
So really, it's Incredibles 2 and Onward.
Yeah, I'd say it's slightly above Onward, which you folks engaged with a little more than I did. I'd say it just about equals Incredibles 2.
So
Oh.
Incredibles 2 and Street Fighter are the best things you've watched on the podcast so far. And Street Fighter and Incredibles 2 were both your ideas.
Yeah, it's not been a great track record. So far.
I was gonna say the worst things like Cars 2 and 3, Sonic 99, Batman, Me and My Dick. That was our idea.
Well, actually, technically, Batman was Wash's idea. Anyways.
That about does it. Thank you so much for listening to
Yes.
our pretty much a ramble.
Yeah.
With
With a movie like this, you weren't gonna get an Inside Out level of analysis.
You really weren't.
but
Rancid, where can we find you?
yes.
I am on Twitter at Jeff T. Cornell, where I post sporadically, usually in response to people, and very little with anything controversial or noteworthy of my own, because I'm a coward. And that's about it as far as places you can find me. I'm not terribly active elsewhere.
I know that you have a big project coming up, but that's still in the works, right? You don't want to talk too much about
That is still in the works. I don't want to reveal it just yet, not because I want to tease anyone, just because I would rather keep it a special surprise.
All right.
Until I have enough to conceivably show people.
Yeah,
Is it Street Fighter the movie reanimated?
No, that would require talent.
No,
This is a... Oh, hell, I guess I'll just say it. I am reviewing over 200 public domain movies,
Yep.
like big essay-length reviews, and putting them all in a big-ass ebook, which will, like immaculately sourced. I got pictures and everything, and that's coming out when it's coming out.
Yeah.
It turns out that watching 200 movies, even if they're typically only an hour long or so, is still a lot of fucking effort.
Yeah.
And life keeps getting in the way.
That still could be 200 hours.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
At least.
Weren't you almost gonna do Sonic 99, but that was debatable, or just straight up like not happening?
No. See, it's got to be public domain. And
okay. I thought
this most assuredly was not public.
Sonic is not public domain.
No, but the
And you know what's
movie.
Tragic.
And you know what's not public domain? Our podcast, Wash. Where can people find us?
Well, you can find us right now. You're listening to it. But you can also go to our Twitter page, WRK Podcast, and we'll let you know when a new podcast comes in, because we make a lot of stuff, and we got a bunch of new projects coming up. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, WRK in Progress, or look up Pixar Perspective or Dark Hit Spotlight. We'll show up in one of those results. I almost said the SoundCloud. Fuck it. check us out on wrk.simplecast.com and soundcloud.com/PixarSpective, which we've never used, but we still have.
But it
Thanks.
exists. I'm just saying it exists. I was right. Random was wrong.
All right.
With
And on that note,
yes,
I'm
Jean-Claude Van Wash.
I need to change the channel.
I'm Count Balrance.
And I am E Honda, Hawaiian sumo wrestler.
And have yourself a good
Good night, everybody.
Good night.